The marriage contract gave her 72 hours to decide, but the man across the table had already made up his mind to destroy it. Elena's lawyer had called it unprecedented. Her father had called it necessary. She called it a trap with her signature line at the bottom. The conference room smelled like leather and old money. Nathan Cross sat across from her, perfectly still except for one finger tapping the mahogany table. She'd researched him. 31, Stanford MBA, ran Cross Corp's international division. Never smiled in photos. 2 families, 2 companies, 1 merger disguised as a marriage. Her father's voice echoed from this morning. "Sign it or we lose everything." She looked at Nathan. He looked at the contract. Then he slid a blank piece of paper across the table and said, "I have a better idea." He slid the blank paper across polished mahogany. His finger left no print on the surface. "A counter-proposal," Nathan said. His voice was lower than she'd expected, controlled. Elena didn't touch the paper. "My father's lawyer spent 6 months on that contract." "I know, I watched them." He leaned back. The leather chair made no sound. "Clause 17 particularly bothered me, the one about public appearances." The conference room felt smaller. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed downtown at dusk, buildings turning gold, then shadow. She'd memorized every clause. 17 required them to attend 52 joint events per year. Birthdays, galas, board meetings, all photographed. "You want to renegotiate," she said. "I want to destroy it." The word hung between them. Outside, someone's car alarm went off, then stopped. Elena studied his face. Sharp jawline, dark circles under gray eyes. He looked like someone who hadn't slept well in months. "If you wanted out," she said slowly, "you could have said no before we got to signatures. So could you." True. She'd had 3 weeks' notice. 3 weeks to find an excuse, fake an illness, leave the country. Instead, she'd shown up in her mother's pearls and her best corporate smile. Nathan picked up his pen, put it down. "Why didn't you?" The question felt too intimate for a stranger, but he wasn't a stranger anymore. In 72 hours, he might be her husband. "My father's company employs 400 people," Elena said. "If this merger fails, he loses contracts in 6 countries. Half those people lose jobs by Christmas. And you lose your trust fund." "I don't care about the money." He studied her. "I believe you." Something in his tone made her look up. He wasn't mocking her. "Your turn," she said. "Why did you show up?" Nathan was quiet. Outside, the city lights began to flicker on, blue and amber cutting through twilight. "My sister needs medical treatment," he finally said. "Experimental, not covered by insurance. My father agreed to pay for it if I sign." Elena felt something shift in her chest. Not pity, recognition. "So we're both trapped," she said. "Yes." The word was simple, honest. She looked at the blank paper between them. "What's your counter-proposal?" Nathan leaned forward. "We get married. We fulfill the contract's requirements for exactly 1 year. We appear together, smile for cameras, convince everyone it's real." He paused. "And then we divorce. Quietly, cite irreconcilable differences. Both families get their merger. Both of us get what we need. Then we walk away." Elena's pulse kicked up. A performance. A partnership. For 1 year. 12 months. Then freedom. She wanted to say yes immediately, but something made her hesitate. What about the personal clauses? Shared residence, joint accounts. "We follow them exactly," Nathan said. "Every letter of the contract. We just don't mean any of it." The city outside looked like scattered gold, beautiful and cold. "There's a risk," Elena said. "If either family finds out we're faking." "We don't fake. We perform perfectly." His gray eyes were steady. "Have you ever acted before?" She thought of every board meeting, every dinner where she smiled and nodded, Every time she'd hidden her sketchbook when her mother walked in. Yes, Elena said, I have. Nathan slid the blank paper closer. Then write down what you want. What you'd do if you had 1 year of protection from your family. I'll do the same. Why? Because if we're going to lie to everyone else, he said quietly, we should at least be honest with each other. Outside, the last light folded into night. The restaurant was the kind where silence cost extra. Soft piano, muted conversations, waiters who moved like shadows. Elena's mother had chosen it. Somewhere the families can meet properly. 6 people at a circular table. Elena and Nathan sat across from each other, their parents flanking them like opposing chess pieces. Her father raised his wine glass. To new beginnings. Everyone drank. Elena tasted nothing. Nathan, her mother said warmly, Elena tells us you went to Stanford. Yes, ma'am. And you run the international division now? For the past 3 years. The conversation had the rhythm of an interview. Her mother asking questions, Nathan answering in careful sentences. His father watching with the expression of someone inspecting a purchase. Elena cut her salmon into small pieces. She wasn't hungry. Nathan's mother turned to her. Elena, dear, your father mentioned you studied art? The word felt like a test. I have a degree in fine arts, Elena said, but I work in the family business now. Such a practical choice. The woman's smile didn't reach her eyes. Art is a lovely hobby. Elena's grip on her fork tightened. Under the table, something touched her foot. Light. Deliberate. She looked up. Nathan was cutting his steak, expression neutral, but his foot stayed against hers. A signal. She wasn't sure what it meant. Actually, Nathan said, voice casual, I'd be interested to hear about Elena's work. The art world has significant market value now. His father frowned. We're not here to discuss hobbies. Of course not. Nathan took a sip of water. We're here to discuss a marriage, which requires knowing who you're marrying. The table went quiet. Even the piano seemed to pause. Elena's father cleared his throat. Nathan has a point. Perhaps the young people should talk, get to know each other. They'll have plenty of time after the wedding, Nathan's father said. We'll have a lifetime, Nathan corrected. His tone was polite. His meaning wasn't. Elena felt his foot press slightly harder against hers. Another signal. She set down her fork. Actually, I'd like some air. Nathan, would you join me? Her mother's smile went brittle. Dessert is coming. We'll be back, Elena said, standing. Nathan rose smoothly. 5 minutes. They walked to the restaurant's terrace. Cold November air hit Elena's face. She breathed it in. That was suffocating, she said quietly. That was a preview. Nathan leaned against the railing. City lights spread below them. 52 events per year, all exactly like that. Your father hates me already. He hates everyone. Don't take it personally. Elena laughed. The sound surprised her. Nathan glanced over. Your mother called art a hobby. She always does. What would you call it? The question was simple. The answer wasn't. It's the only thing I've ever done that felt like mine, Elena said. Everything else is performance. Nathan nodded slowly. I understand that. Do you? My father wanted me to take over at 25. I burned out by 26. Spent the next 5 years pretending I was fine. He looked at her. We're good at pretending, aren't we? We'd better be. Elena wrapped her arms against the cold. 1 year of this, then freedom. 1 year, Nathan agreed. Inside, someone tapped a wine glass. Their 5 minutes were up. Ready to go back? He asked. Elena straightened her shoulders, put on her smile. Always. They walked back into the warmth and the watching eyes. Stage a fight at the engagement party, Elena said. She paced Nathan's apartment. Hardwood floors, minimalist furniture, nothing personal on the walls. Too obvious. Nathan sat on the couch, sleeves rolled up. It was past midnight. They'd left the restaurant 2 hours ago and met here to strategize. Our families would push through it. Every couple argues. Then we be incompatible. Publicly. How? Elena stopped pacing. You hate the opera. I insist on season tickets. You're a morning person. I'm nocturnal. We argue about wanting different things. They'll call it growing pains. Then we make it worse. I flirt with someone at a gala. You leave early from events. We stop pretending to like each other. Nathan leaned back, considered. It might work, but it needs to be gradual. If we crash and burn too fast, they'll know it's sabotage. So we have a timeline. Elena grabbed paper and pen from his desk, started writing. Week 1, polite distance. Week 2, small disagreements. Week 3, public tension. Week 4, we call off the engagement, Nathan finished. Mutual decision. Very mature. We tried, but we're not compatible. Elena set down the pen, looked at what she'd written. A relationship destruction schedule. This feels calculated, she said. It is calculated. That's the point. I know, but she couldn't finish the thought. Nathan stood, walked to the window. His reflection overlapped with the city lights. Having second thoughts? He asked quietly. Are you? He didn't answer right away. The silence stretched. My sister called me after dinner, Nathan finally said. Her treatment starts in 2 weeks. She was crying, happy crying. He turned. So no, I'm not having second thoughts. Elena's chest tightened. I'm sorry, I didn't mean... I know. He moved away from the window. What about you? Why did you really agree to this? She could give him the answer she'd given before. Her father's company, the 400 employees. It was all true. But Nathan had been honest about his sister. My father had a heart attack 3 months ago, Elena said. The words came slowly. He survived. But the stress of possibly losing the business, the doctors said another one could kill him. Nathan's expression shifted. Elena, so I'm not having second thoughts either. She picked up the pen again. Her hand was steady. Let's make this work. They spent the next hour planning. Small acts of incompatibility. Carefully timed disagreements. A slow dissolution that would look natural. We'll need to be convincing at first, Nathan said. The engagement announcement is in 3 days. Press will be there. We need to look like we're trying. How convincing? Engaged couple convincing. Smiles, light touching, the appearance of intimacy. Elena felt heat in her face. Fake intimacy. Performed intimacy, Nathan corrected. There's a difference. Is there? He looked at her. Something passed between them. Awareness. They were strangers planning to pretend to be in love, while secretly planning to fall apart. We should practice, Nathan said. Practice what? Being a couple. We have 3 days before the announcement. If we're uncomfortable then, people will notice. He was right, but the thought of practicing intimacy with a stranger made her pulse kick up. Okay, Elena said. How do we start? Nathan moved closer, not touching, just close enough that she could feel the warmth of him. Tell me something true, he said quietly, something no one else knows. Elena's breath caught. Why? Because if we're going to fake everything else, Nathan said, we need something real to hold on to. Outside, a siren wailed past. Then silence. Elena looked at him. Gray eyes, dark circles, honest. I haven't painted in 5 years, she said. I want to start again, but I'm afraid I've forgotten how. Nathan nodded slowly. I want to quit. Walk away from CrossCorp. Teach business strategy to startups who actually need it. Why don't you? Same reason you don't paint. His voice was soft. We're afraid of disappointing people we love. The room felt smaller, warmer. 1 year, Elena said. Then we're free. 1 year, Nathan agreed. They stood close, not touching, but something had shifted. The plan was in motion. Camera flashes turned the ballroom white. Elena smiled. Nathan's hand was warm on her waist. Morgan and Cross families announce merger through union, someone called out. A reporter. There were 30 of them forming a semicircle. How did you two meet? Another voice shouted. Nathan answered smoothly. Through our families. We've known each other professionally for years. A lie. They'd met 4 days ago. Elena, how do you feel about marrying into the Cross family? She kept her smile steady. Grateful. Nathan's been wonderful. His hand tightened slightly on her waist. A signal. She was doing well. More flashes. Someone asked about the wedding date. Nathan deflected. We're taking our time. Want to do it right. Her mother stood to the side, beaming. His father watched with a businessman's satisfaction. This was a transaction completing successfully. Can we get a photo of the happy couple? A photographer gestured. Maybe by the windows? They moved together. Natural. Practiced. They'd rehearsed this. The windows showed the city at twilight. Romantic backdrop. Perfect shot. Closer together, the photographer directed. Nathan pulled her nearer. His other hand came up to her shoulder. They looked like lovers. Felt like strangers performing choreography. Beautiful! Flash. Flash. One more. Elena, look at Nathan like you're in love. She turned, met his eyes. For a second, something flickered in his expression. Then it was gone. She smiled the way she'd practiced. Soft, adoring, completely fake. Flash, flash, flash. Perfect! That'll be the cover shot. They separated by increments. Appropriate distance, still touching. A reporter pushed forward. Nathan, there are rumors Cross Corp is struggling in the European market. Is this merger a business decision or a personal one? The room went quiet. Nathan's expression didn't change. It's both. My family and the Morgans have been partners for 20 years. Elena and I are simply strengthening that bond. So you're saying the marriage is strategic? I'm saying, Nathan's voice had an edge now, that I'm marrying Elena because I want to. The business benefits are secondary. Elena's pulse kicked up. He sounded convincing, almost too convincing. Another reporter. Elena, you studied art. Will you continue working in the creative field? The question felt like a trap. I'll be supporting my husband and contributing to both family businesses, Elena said carefully. The words tasted like ash. So you're giving up art? Nathan cut in before she could answer. Elena's incredibly talented. We're discussing how she can pursue both interests. A lie. They'd never discussed it, but his hand was still on her waist. Steady, supportive. The questions kept coming. They answered in tandem, a performance of unity. Finally, her father stepped forward. Thank you all for coming. The happy couple needs some privacy. The reporters filed out. Flashes fading. Elena's smile dropped the moment the door closed. Nathan's hand left her waist. They stood 2 feet apart, suddenly distant. You did well, her mother said, approaching. Very natural. Thank you, Elena said automatically. Nathan's father clapped him on the shoulder. Good work. The European markets will stabilize by Monday. No one said congratulations. No one mentioned love. This was a merger announcement, nothing more. Elena excused herself, found the bathroom, locked the door. In the mirror, she still wore the smile. It looked painted on. She washed her hands in cold water. The ring on her finger caught the light. 2 carats, platinum, chosen by lawyers. When she came back out, Nathan was waiting in the hallway. That was exhausting, he said quietly. 51 more to go, Elena said. They stood in silence, partners in deception. The performance had begun. Elena remembered the last time she'd packed her life into boxes. College. Moving into the dorms. Her mother had folded every shirt with hospital corners. Her father had carried the heavy boxes while making jokes about her art supplies weighing more than furniture. That had been leaving for something. This felt like leaving from something. She taped the last box shut. Her childhood bedroom looked empty. Walls that had held her sketches for years now showed pale rectangles where frames used to hang. The marriage contract required shared residence. Nathan's penthouse, neutral territory, not his family's estate or hers. Her phone buzzed. Nathan, movers arrive at 2, take your time. She sat on her bed. The mattress remembered her shape. 10,000 nights of sleep and sketching and crying when her mother said art wasn't practical. Her closet stood open. Empty hangers. She'd sorted through everything yesterday. Professional clothes, the dress for the engagement announcement. At the back, pushed behind winter coats, was the box. Elena pulled it out, opened it. Sketchbooks. 7 years' worth. Charcoal studies. Watercolor experiments. The portrait series she'd done senior year that her professor called hauntingly intimate. She opened the most recent one, 5 years old now. The pages felt stiff. A figure study. An old man feeding pigeons in the park. She'd drawn him on a Sunday when she was supposed to be at a networking brunch. The lines were confident. Sure, she'd known what she was doing. Could she still draw like that? Elena set the sketchbook aside. In the bottom of the box was something wrapped in cloth. She unwrapped it slowly. A palette knife. Silver. The handle worn smooth from use. Her professor had given it to her at graduation. For when you're ready to paint again, he'd said. She'd never used it, never been ready. Elena held it now. The weight felt familiar. The metal caught the light. What would Nathan think if she set up a studio in his penthouse? They'd agreed to share space, live as a married couple, but she hadn't thought about the details. Would he mind paint smell? Would she have to hide it like she'd hidden it here? Her phone buzzed again. Her mother. Dinner tonight to celebrate the move. 7 p.m. Not asking, telling. Elena looked around her room one last time. She'd spent 28 years performing the role of good daughter. Obedient, practical, someone who put away childish things like art. One more year of performing, then freedom. She picked up the box of sketchbooks, hesitated. She could leave them, donate them. They belonged to a version of herself she'd put away, but she carried them to the door with the rest of her boxes. The movers arrived exactly at 2, professional, efficient. They wrapped furniture and stacked boxes like they'd done this 1,000 times. Maybe they had. How many arranged marriages had they witnessed? Elena watched them carry her life away, box by box. Her mother supervised, commenting on weight distribution and proper packing technique. Her father stood in the doorway, silent. When the last box was loaded, he walked over, put his hand on her shoulder. "You're doing the right thing," he said quietly. She wanted to ask, right for whom? But she just nodded. In the car, following the moving truck to Nathan's penthouse, Elena watched the city pass. Buildings, people, lives happening everywhere. In 1 year, she'd have her own life back, her own space, freedom to choose. The palette knife was in her purse. She'd put her hand in twice during the drive, touched it, made sure it was real. 1 year. She could perform for 1 year. The penthouse building came into view, glass and steel, modern, cold. Elena took a breath. Her new home, her new performance, her new life that wasn't hers at all. The penthouse was exactly what Elena expected. Floor-to-ceiling windows, minimalist furniture, everything in shades of gray and white. Nothing personal, no photos, no art on the walls. It looked like a hotel. Nathan stood in the living room as movers brought in her boxes. "Your room is down the hall, second door on the left. Your room, not our room." "The contract said shared residence," Elena said. "Not shared bedroom?" "It didn't specify." Nathan signed a form for the head mover. "I assumed you'd want privacy." Relief and something else, disappointment, moved through her. "Thank you," she said. The movers left. The door closed. Silence pressed in. They stood in the large, open space, 2 strangers who just agreed to live together. "I'll show you around," Nathan said. The tour was brief. Kitchen, living room, his office. Her room was twice the size of her childhood bedroom, empty, waiting to be filled. Bathroom's through there, Nathan gestured. You have your own. I'm across the hall if you need anything. So formal, so careful. Where do you want me to put my things? Elena asked. Wherever you want. This is your home now. But it didn't feel like home. It felt like a stage set. Nathan moved toward his office. I have some work to finish. Help yourself to anything in the kitchen. He was leaving, giving her space. Nathan, Elena said. He stopped. We should probably talk about logistics. What kind? Living together logistics, schedules, shared spaces, how we want to handle this. He turned back. You're right, we should have a system. They sat in the living room, opposite ends of the couch, a careful distance. I work early, Nathan said, usually in the office by 6. I'm quiet in the mornings. I'm nocturnal. I'll stay out of your way. You don't have to stay out of my way. This is your space too. But it wasn't. Not really. This was temporary, a 1-year lease on a performance. What about meals? Elena asked. I don't cook much. Usually eat at the office or order in. I like to cook. Something shifted in his expression. You do? It helps me think. If you don't mind the smell. I don't mind. He paused. I'd actually like that. The admission felt unexpectedly intimate. Elena looked around. Do we need to make the place look more lived in for when our families visit? Good point, Nathan considered. Photos, maybe? We should have some visible, fake photos of us looking happy, or real photos where we happen to be in the same frame. They'd have to manufacture a life together, evidence of couplehood. This is complicated, Elena said. Yes, but necessary. Yes. Outside, the city lights flickered on. The sky was turning dark blue. Nathan stood. I'll let you settle in. If you need anything. Nathan, Elena interrupted. Can I ask you something? He waited. Why did you really agree to this? I know about your sister, but there must have been other options. Loans, investors. He was quiet for a long moment. My father controls everything, Nathan finally said. Every account, every asset. Even if I left, tried to access my own money, he'd freeze it, tie it up in legal battles for years. He looked at her. Sarah doesn't have years. Elena's throat tightened. I'm sorry. Don't be. You're in the same position. Not exactly. My father's company is failing because he took risks. Yours is controlling because he can. Different prisons, same bars. The phrase hung between them. 1 year, Elena said. Then we're both free. 1 year. Nathan went to his office. The door clicked shut. Elena sat in the empty living room. Her boxes were stacked against the wall. Her life packed away, ready to be performed. She got up, walked to the windows. The city looked beautiful from up here, distant, like watching life happen to other people. She pressed her palm against the glass. Cold. This was her home now, for 12 months. Then freedom, if she could survive that long. Elena unpacked at midnight. The penthouse was silent. Nathan's office door was closed. Light showed underneath. He was still working. She'd been unpacking for 3 hours. Clothes in the closet, books on shelves, organizing a space that wasn't hers. The box of sketchbooks sat on her bed, still taped shut. She should have left them. They belonged to someone she used to be, but she cut the tape anyway. The sketchbooks looked smaller than she remembered. 7 of them. 7 years of work, hidden from her mother, created in stolen hours. Elena opened the oldest one, freshman year, figure studies. The proportions were off. She'd been learning. The next one, better, more confident, a series of hands, old hands, young hands, hands holding things, reaching, empty. Sophomore year, landscapes, the park near campus, trees in different seasons. She'd sat on the same bench every Sunday and drawn the changes. Junior year, portraits, her roommate, the barista at the coffee shop, a homeless man who sat outside the library, people who'd let her look at them, really look. Senior year, the series her professor had praised, intimate moments, a couple arguing in a cafe, a child sleeping on a subway, a woman crying in a bathroom mirror. She'd been good. She'd forgotten that. Elena set the sketchbooks aside, found the one at the bottom, the last one, 5 years old, half empty. She opened to the last page she'd drawn, the old man feeding pigeons, the day she'd skipped the networking brunch. Her mother had found out. This is why you can't be taken seriously. You're wasting time on hobbies. Elena had closed the sketchbook, put it in the box, never opened it again. Until now. She touched the empty pages, smooth, waiting. The palette knife was in her purse. She'd carried it from her old room to this new one. Why? What was she planning to do with it? Paint? Here? In Nathan's penthouse? She could. The contract didn't say she couldn't. They were supposed to live normally. Painting was normal for her. Used to be normal. Elena stood, walked to the window. Her reflection overlapped with the city lights. She looked tired, older than 28. The engagement ring caught the light. In 1 year, that ring would come off. She'd be free, could paint all day if she wanted. But a year was a long time. Could she wait that long? Behind her, Nathan's office door opened. Footsteps in the hallway, water running in the kitchen. He appeared in her doorway, stopped when he saw her. Sorry, didn't mean to disturb you. You didn't. He glanced at the sketchbooks on the bed. Are those yours? Elena tensed. From college. Can I see? She almost said no, but they were partners now, in deception, maybe in other things. Okay. Nathan picked up one, opened it carefully, looked through the pages. He didn't speak, just looked. Elena's heart beat faster, waiting for judgment, criticism, dismissal. These are beautiful, Nathan said quietly. Why did you stop? The question hurt more than she expected. Life got in the way, she said. He set the sketchbook down, gently. Maybe you could start again. Maybe, but she didn't believe it. Nathan left, his door closed. Elena looked at the sketchbooks. 1 year, then freedom, then maybe. The email arrived at 2 in the morning. Elena was still awake, unpacking, organizing, avoiding sleep. Her phone lit up. Sender, Morgan Industries Legal Department. Subject, amended contract terms. Her pulse kicked up. She opened it, read again. Then she walked down the hall, knocked on Nathan's door. Come in. He was at his desk, still dressed, still working. Did you get an email from your lawyers? Elena asked. Nathan's expression shifted. 2 minutes ago, I was about to come find you. They changed the terms. Without telling us. Elena held up her phone. New clause 43. We have to produce evidence of marital intimacy within 6 months. Evidence, Nathan repeated. The word tasted wrong. Photos, testimony from household staff, proof we're actually living as a married couple. We are living as a married couple, in separate rooms with separate lives. Nathan stood, paced. They don't trust us. Can you blame them? Elena's voice was tight. We met 4 days ago, got engaged immediately. We're clearly a business arrangement. So they're testing us. They're ensuring their investment. Nathan stopped pacing. What counts as evidence? Elena read from the email. Joint bank accounts, shared social media posts, testimony from friends and family that were affectionate, physical evidence of cohabitation in the same bedroom. The last part hung in the air. They want us to share a bedroom, Nathan said flatly, or make it look like we do. For 6 months. Until they're satisfied we're legitimate. Nathan's jaw tightened. This wasn't part of the original contract. Amended terms are enforceable if both parties sign preliminary agreements, which we did. So we're trapped. More trapped than before. He sat on his bed, ran his hands through his hair. I can't share a bedroom with someone I barely know. I'm not asking you to. But they are. Elena looked around his room, minimalist, impersonal, like the rest of the penthouse. We could stage it, she said. Keep separate rooms, but make one look occupied by both of us. Move some of my things in here, yours into my room. Create evidence. Wouldn't household staff notice we're sleeping separately? We don't have household staff yet. Contract requires we hire some. But we could choose people who work different shifts. Overlap them so no one sees the full picture. Nathan looked at her. You've thought about this. I've been unpacking for 3 hours. I had time to think. He almost smiled. This is getting complicated. It was always complicated. More complicated. Elena sat in his desk chair. They were both exhausted, both realizing the trap had closed tighter. There's another option, Nathan said quietly. What? We actually share a room. Elena's breath caught. Nathan, not a bed, a room. I sleep on the couch, or we get a larger bed, keep distance, but we're actually living together. No separate spaces to maintain, no risk of staff noticing discrepancies. That's, she couldn't finish. Invasive, I know. I was going to say honest. He looked surprised. If we're going to perform, Elena said, maybe it's easier if the performance is as close to real as possible. We'd have to do it eventually anyway, at events, public appearances. But this would be private. Would it? With household staff watching? With our families checking in? Nathan was quiet, processing. We could try it, Elena finally said. See if it works. If it doesn't, we figure something else out. Yes. Outside, the city hummed. 3 a.m. traffic, distant sirens. Which room? Nathan asked. Yours is bigger. Then I'll help you move your things in the morning. Elena stood. This wasn't how she'd imagined her wedding night. Moving boxes at dawn. Negotiating sleeping arrangements with a stranger. 1 year, she said. 1 year, Nathan agreed. But something had shifted. The performance was getting more real by the hour. Money of tenor moved. Morning light cut through the blinds in sharp lines. Elena woke, disoriented. Wrong ceiling, wrong walls. Then she remembered. Nathan's room. Their room now. She turned her head. He wasn't there. The other side of the bed was made, military corners, like no one had slept in it, because no one had. He'd taken the couch in his office, given her the bed, gentlemanly, unnecessary. She sat up. Her boxes from last night were stacked against the wall, clothes still packed, books wrapped in paper. They'd been too tired to unpack properly, just moved enough to make it look lived in if someone walked in. The door opened. Nathan appeared with coffee. You're awake, he said. I didn't want to disturb you. What time is it? 7. I've been up since 5. He was already dressed, suit, tie, ready for the office. Elena was in pajamas, tank top and shorts. She pulled the blanket higher. Nathan set the coffee on the nightstand. I made breakfast, eggs and toast. It's in the kitchen when you're ready. You cook? Barely, but I can manage eggs. He moved to his closet, started selecting ties. His routine, happening around her now. This was what shared space meant. Witnessing each other's mornings, private rituals made public. Elena got up, grabbed her robe from where she'd hung it last night. I'll shower in the guest bathroom, give you space to get ready. You don't have to. I know, but it's easier. She left before he could argue. The guest bathroom still had her things, shampoo, toothbrush, last remnants of having her own space. She showered quickly, got dressed. When she came back, Nathan was gone. A note on the counter, had to leave early, meeting at 8. Help yourself to anything. N. The apartment felt large and empty. Elena ate the eggs he'd made. They were good, slightly overcooked but edible. She looked around. Their apartment now, not his. Not hers, theirs. Except it didn't feel like theirs. She spent the morning unpacking, hanging clothes next to his in the closet, placing books on shelves that already held his, creating the appearance of merged lives. At noon, her phone rang. Her mother. "How was your first night?" The question felt loaded. "Fine," Elena said. "We're still settling in. I'd like to visit, see how you've arranged things. Thursday afternoon?" Not asking, announcing. "Thursday works," Elena said automatically. After hanging up, she looked around. Really looked. The room needed more. Evidence of her, of them together. Photos. The contract mentioned photos. Elena found her phone, scrolled through her camera roll. Nothing of Nathan, obviously. They'd met 5 days ago. She'd have to create them. When Nathan came home at 6, Elena was in the kitchen, cooking. Chicken and vegetables. Therapy cooking. He stopped in the doorway. "It smells amazing." "My mother's visiting Thursday. We need photos. Proof we're actually together." Nathan set his briefcase down, loosened his tie. "Right, evidence. We could take some now, after dinner, make it look natural." "How do you make a photo look natural when it's staged?" "You act natural while being staged." He almost smiled. "More performance. Always." They ate dinner, talked about logistics, Thursday's visit, what his mother would expect, what they needed to prepare. After, they stood in the living room, phone ready. "How do we do this?" Nathan asked. Elena held up her phone, selfie mode. "Stand close, smile." He moved next to her, not touching, careful distance. "Closer," Elena said. "We're supposed to be married." Nathan stepped in. His arm went around her shoulders. Warm, solid. Elena leaned against him, tilted the phone. They looked like a couple, almost. "Smile," she said. They smiled. She took the photo. It looked forced, awkward. "Again," Elena said. "More relaxed this time." Nathan's hand tightened slightly on her shoulder. "Tell me something." "What?" "Anything. Something that'll make you actually smile." Elena thought. "When I was 8, I entered an art contest, drew a portrait of my dog. I won 3rd place. My mother said 3rd place meant I was almost good enough." Nathan's expression shifted. "That's not funny." "I know, but I kept trying anyway, kept drawing. That's funny, right? That I never stopped trying." "It's not funny. It's determined." Something in his voice made her look at him. He was looking back. "Take the photo," he said quietly. She did. This one looked real. Thursday arrived with rain. Elena had cleaned the apartment twice, arranged flowers, hidden anything that suggested separate sleeping arrangements. Her mother arrived at 2 exactly. Never early, never late. "Elena, darling," air kiss, both cheeks. "Where's Nathan?" "At work, he'll be home by 6. Her mother walked through the apartment, appraising. Elena followed. "The living room is lovely, very modern. Nathan decorated before I moved in." "And you haven't changed anything?" The question had edges. "We're still settling in," Elena said. Her mother opened closet doors, checked the kitchen, looked for evidence of Elena's presence. Finally, she sat in the living room. "Show me your bedroom." Elena's pulse jumped. "Why?" "I'd like to see how you've arranged things." No escape. Elena led her down the hall, opened the door. The room looked lived in. Both sides of the bed unmade. Elena's books on one nightstand, Nathan's on the other. Closet showing mixed clothes. Perfect staging. Her mother walked in, looked around, opened drawers. "You're keeping separate bathroom items," she observed. 2 toothbrushes, separate skincare products. "We have different routines," Elena said. That sound. Disapproval wrapped in observation. Her mother moved to the dresser, picked up a photo, the selfie from Monday night. Elena and Nathan smiling. "You look happy here," her mother said. "I am happy." "Are you?" The question hung. Elena met her mother's eyes. "Yes." "Because your father is depending on this. The merger, the stability. If this marriage fails, it won't fail. Marriage is work, Elena. You need to be present, engaged. This apartment looks like a hotel. We just moved in. Then make it a home. Add your touches. Cook for him. Be a wife. The word tasted wrong. Wife. Like a role in a play she hadn't auditioned for. I am being a wife, Elena said. Are you? Or are you being a roommate who happens to share a name? Elena's hands tightened. What do you want me to say? I want you to take this seriously. This isn't a game. This is your life, your responsibility. Her mother set the photo down, moved closer. I know you didn't choose this, she said, voice softer, but neither did any of us. We all make sacrifices for family. Elena thought of the sketchbooks in the closet. 5 years of silence. What did you sacrifice? Elena asked quietly. Her mother's expression shuddered. That's not relevant. It is to me. They stood in the bedroom. Rain tapped against windows. The room felt too small. I wanted to be a lawyer, her mother finally said. I had a scholarship to Columbia, but your grandfather needed me in the business, so I stayed. Elena hadn't known that. Do you regret it? She asked. Her mother was quiet for a long moment. Regret is indulgent. We do what's necessary. That's not an answer. It's the only answer that matters. Her mother picked up her purse. I should go. Tell Nathan I said hello. At the door she paused. Make this work, Elena, for all of us. Then she was gone. Elena stood in the empty apartment. Rain streaked the windows. The city outside looked gray and blurred. She walked back to the bedroom, looked at the photo her mother had held. She and Nathan smiling, looking happy, looking real, all performance. Her phone buzzed. Nathan, how did it go? Elena typed. She suspects nothing. Good. I'll be home by 7. We should talk. About what? More staging? More performance? Elena put her phone down, noticed her mother had left something, a book on the dresser, The Art of Marriage, post-it note on the cover, read Chapter 3. Elena opened it. Chapter 3, Creating Intimacy Through Shared Goals. The margins had notes in her mother's handwriting, dates from 30 years ago. Before Elena was born, her mother had read this, studied it, tried to learn how to be a wife. Elena closed the book, set it aside. She didn't want to be a wife. She wanted to be herself. But maybe those two things couldn't exist together. She looked at the sketchbooks in the closet, still boxed, still waiting. 1 year, she'd told herself. But her mother had said the same thing 30 years ago, and she was still waiting. Nathan came home at 8, not 7. Elena was on the couch, laptop open, working on market analysis for her father's company. Sorry I'm late, Nathan said. He looked exhausted, tie loose, jacket over his arm. The European division had a crisis. It's fine. He set his briefcase down, went to the kitchen, came back with water. How was your mother's visit? Invasive, suspicious, normal. Nathan sat in the chair across from her, not on the couch, maintaining distance even here. Did she believe it? He asked. The staging? I think so. But she left me a book about marriage, wants me to read it. Are you going to? Elena closed her laptop. I don't know. Maybe it'll give us tips on how to perform better. We're performing fine. Are we? Because it feels like we're failing. Nathan's expression shifted. Why? Elena gestured around. This. We're living together, but not really. We take photos, but they feel fake. We stage evidence, but anyone looking closely would see through it. Your mother didn't see through it. My mother sees what she wants to see. Nathan was quiet. The apartment hummed. Heating system, distant traffic. What do you want to do differently? He finally asked. Elena didn't have an answer. We could try actually spending time together, Nathan offered. Not just staging, actually talking, getting to know each other. We know each other. Do we? I know you studied art, I know your father's company is struggling, but I don't know your favorite color, or what you do when you can't sleep, or what made you fall in love with painting in the first place. The questions felt intimate, too intimate for their arrangement. Why does that matter? Elena asked. Because we're supposed to be married, and married people know each other. Married people who are actually in love. Even fake married people should know basic things about each other. Otherwise, we'll slip up. At events, in public, someone will ask a question and we won't know the answer. He was right. But knowing each other meant letting each other in. Okay, Elena said. What do you want to know? Nathan leaned back, considered. Favorite color? Green, forest green. What's yours? Gray, like the ocean before a storm. Specific. I spent summers sailing, learned to read the weather by watercolor. Elena hadn't known that. Do you still sail? No time. My father thinks it's frivolous. But you miss it. Every day. Something passed between them. Recognition. They were both grieving things they'd given up. Your turn, Nathan said. Ask me something. Elena thought. Why business? If you don't like it, why stay? I was good at it, and being good at something my father valued felt like love. He paused. Stupid, right? No, I understand that. Do you? I stopped painting because my mother said art was a hobby. I thought if I proved I could be practical, she'd finally be proud of me. Was she? She's never said. Nathan's jaw tightened. That's cruel. That's family. They sat in silence. The temperature in the room felt different, warmer. Can I ask you something personal? Nathan said. Elena tensed. How personal? About us, this arrangement. Are you okay with it? Really? The question surprised her. Are you? I asked first. Elena looked at her hands. The engagement ring caught the light. I'm okay with the concept. Marry for a year, get what we need, walk away. But the execution is harder than I expected. Why? Because I'm starting to like you, she admitted. And that's dangerous. Nathan's expression shifted. Dangerous how? Because this isn't real. We're not real. And if I forget that, if we both forget that, someone gets hurt. Maybe we don't have to forget. Maybe we can be friends, partners, people who actually care about each other while still knowing this ends. Can we do that? Care without it meaning something? I don't know, Nathan said honestly, but I'd like to try. Elena wanted to say yes, but friendship meant vulnerability, and vulnerability meant risk. What if we fail? She asked. Then we fail honestly instead of successfully fake. The phrase made her smile. That's not comforting. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be real. Real. The word they'd been avoiding. Okay, Elena said. Friends, partners, people who actually know each other. Good, Nathan stood. I have work to finish, but maybe this weekend we could do something. Not staging, just us. Like what? I don't know yet, but I'll think of something. He went to his office. Elena heard the door close. She looked at her laptop. The market analysis could wait. She pulled out her phone, scrolled to the photo from Monday. She and Nathan smiling. It looked more real now. Maybe because it was starting to be. Saturday morning, Elena woke to an empty apartment. Note on the kitchen counter. Had to go in for a few hours. Back by noon. N. She made coffee, stood at the window. The city stretched below. Buildings, lives, possibilities. Her laptop was open on the counter. She'd been researching last night. Gallery spaces, rental costs, what it would take to actually open one. A dream she'd had in college, before practical reality crushed it. The numbers were daunting. First month's rent, security deposit, insurance, permits. Even with her trust fund, it was a risk, and her mother would never approve. Elena closed the laptop, poured more coffee, noticed something on the table, a brochure. Available commercial spaces, Arts District. She picked it up. 7 properties listed, 3 circled in red pen, Nathan's handwriting in the margin. Thought you might want to look. Her throat tightened. He'd remembered. Their conversation from Thursday night. She'd mentioned wanting to open a gallery. Once, in passing, he'd remembered and found spaces. Elena sat down, opened the brochure. The circled properties were all reasonable. Not cheap, but not impossible. She pulled out her phone, almost called him, stopped. What would she say? Thank you? Why did you do this? What does this mean? Instead, she opened her laptop again, actually looked at the spaces. The first was too large. The second, too expensive. The third, she stopped. Corner unit, natural light, exposed brick, 2,000 square feet. Perfect. Her pulse kicked up. She could see it. White walls, focused lighting, local artists, emerging voices. The dream solidified, became real instead of abstract. Then she saw the rent. Monthly, ongoing. The dream blurred again. Even if she had enough for the deposit, could she maintain it? Her trust fund had limits. And once the divorce happened, once the merger secured, would her father still support her? Would Nathan? The thought stopped her. Why would Nathan support her after they divorced? They were partners in deception, not partners in life. She closed the laptop again. This was dangerous, letting herself dream, letting someone encourage it. The door opened. Nathan came in carrying groceries. "You're back early," Elena said. "Meeting got canceled." He set bags on the counter. "I picked up ingredients. Thought I'd try actually cooking something that's not eggs." Elena held up the brochure. "You left this." Nathan glanced at it. "Yeah, I was researching last night. Those spaces seemed promising." "Why were you researching?" He started unpacking groceries. "You mentioned wanting to open a gallery. I thought maybe I could help." "We're divorcing in a year." The words came out harder than intended. Nathan stopped unpacking. "I know. So why help me with something that'll happen after we're not together?" "Because you should have it anyway, whether we're married or not." Elena's chest felt tight. "Nathan, I'm not trying to complicate things," he said quietly. "I'm just trying to be your friend. Friends help each other, even if they're temporary." Nothing about this feels temporary anymore. The admission hung between them. Nathan put milk in the refrigerator, didn't look at her. "I know. That's dangerous." "I know that too." Elena set the brochure down. "What are we doing?" "I don't know," Nathan said, "but I don't want to stop." "We should stop. We should maintain distance, keep this professional." "Is that what you want?" Elena looked at him, really looked. He'd gone into work on a Saturday, came back with groceries, researched gallery spaces because she'd mentioned a dream once. He was being kind, and kindness was more dangerous than anything. "No," she admitted, "that's not what I want." "Then what do you want?" She didn't have an answer. Nathan pulled out pasta, vegetables. "Help me cook. We'll figure it out." They cooked together, bumping into each other in the small kitchen, talking about nothing important, laughing when the sauce burned. It felt domestic, real, terrifying. Later, Elena looked at the brochure again. The corner unit, 2,000 square feet. Perfect. She took a photo, saved it, just in case. The charity gala was black tie, 500 guests, open bar, perfect place for a married couple to prove they belong together. Elena's dress was deep blue, fitted. Her mother had approved. "You look like a cross now." The words had stung. Nathan picked her up at 7, stopped when he saw her. "You look beautiful," he said, simple, honest. "Thank you." She grabbed her clutch. "Ready to perform?" "Always." The car ride was quiet. Their driver navigated traffic. Outside, the city glittered. "My father will be there," Nathan said. "He'll be watching. So will my mother. We need to be convincing." "We're always convincing." Nathan looked at her. Something in his expression made her pulse jump. "Are we?" he asked. The car stopped. Valet opened the door. Camera flashes outside. No time to answer. They stepped out together. Nathan's hand immediately found the small of her back. Proprietary, husband-like. Cameras clicked. Reporters called questions. They smiled, waved, walked the red carpet like they'd done it 100 times. Inside, the ballroom was excessive. Crystal chandeliers, gold accents, string quartet playing something classical. Elena's mother appeared immediately. "You look lovely, both of you." She air-kissed Elena, shook Nathan's hand. "The Hendersons are here. You should say hello. They're considering the merger favorably. Not enjoy the evening. Not have fun. Network. Perform. Deliver." They made rounds, shaking hands, making small talk, playing the role of happy newlyweds. "How are you enjoying married life?" someone asked. Nathan answered smoothly, "It's everything I hoped for." A lie delivered as truth. They drank champagne, smiled, touched each other casually, all the small intimacies that couples performed. But it didn't feel like performance anymore. Nathan's hand on her waist felt natural. Her leaning into him felt right, dangerous. An hour in, they escaped to the terrace. Cold November air. Elena wrapped her arms against the chill. Nathan immediately took off his jacket, put it around her shoulders. "You don't have to. I want to." They stood at the railing. The city spread below. Party noise muffled by glass doors. "This is exhausting," Elena said. "Yes. How many more of these do we have?" "The contract says 52 annually. We've done 4, 48 to go. 48 performances. 48 nights of this." Elena looked at him. His profile against city lights. Strong jaw, tired eyes. "Are you okay?" she asked. The question seemed to surprise him. "Why? You look exhausted, like you haven't slept in weeks." "I haven't. Work is—" He stopped. "It doesn't matter. It matters to me." Nathan turned, faced her fully. "Why?" "Because we're friends now, remember? Friends care. We're more than friends." The words hung in cold air. "What are we then?" Elena asked quietly. "I don't know." The terrace doors opened. Nathan's father stepped out, saw them, approached. "There you are. I've been looking for you." He nodded at Elena, didn't smile. "Mrs. Cross." The name felt foreign. "I need to borrow my son," he said. "Business matter. Won't take long." Not asking permission, commanding. Nathan looked at Elena, apology in his eyes. "I'll be right back." Of course. They left. Elena stood alone in the cold. She pulled Nathan's jacket tighter. It smelled like him, cedar and something clean. The doors opened again. A man stepped out, mid-30s, expensive suit, confident smile. "Elena Morgan," he said. "Or Cross now, I suppose." She didn't recognize him. "I'm sorry, have we met?" "David Chen. I work with your father. Wanted to introduce myself properly." He moved closer. Too close. "You look stunning tonight." "Thank you. Is your husband nearby?" The question felt pointed. "He'll be back shortly." "Shame. I was hoping to steal you for a dance." Elena's internal alarms went off. This felt like a test. "That's kind, but—" "One dance, to celebrate the merger. Our companies are practically family now." He held out his hand, expectant. Through the glass, Elena saw her mother watching. Saw Nathan's father in conversation with Nathan across the room. Everyone was watching. She took David's hand. One dance. They went inside. The string quartet had shifted to waltzes. Couples filled the floor. David pulled her close, too close. His hand on her waist where Nathan's had been. "You know," David said, "arranged marriages rarely work. Too much pressure, too many expectations. Ours is working fine." "Is it? Because you look unhappy." Elena pulled back slightly. You don't know me. I know trapped when I see it. Across the room, Nathan appeared, saw them dancing. His expression went dark. He started walking over. David smiled. Your husband looks jealous. Good. Maybe this marriage has some life in it after all. Before Elena could respond, Nathan cut in. Mind if I steal my wife? Not a question, a statement. David stepped back, hands raised. All yours. Nathan pulled Elena close, started moving. The music swelled. Are you okay? He asked quietly. Yes, he was just testing us, I know. Nathan's hand tightened on her waist. Everyone's testing us. They danced in silence, his body warm against hers, solid, safe. I don't like performing, Elena whispered. Neither do I. Then what are we doing? Nathan looked down at her. His eyes were gray and serious. Surviving. The music shifted, slower, more intimate. They kept dancing, not performing, just being. The call came at 3 a.m. Elena woke to Nathan's phone buzzing. He grabbed it immediately, sat up. Sarah? His voice was sharp, alert. Elena turned on the lamp. Nathan was already getting out of bed. Slow down, what happened? He was pulling on pants, shoes. I'm coming, 20 minutes, don't move. He hung up, started grabbing keys, wallet. What's wrong? Elena asked. Sarah's in the hospital. She collapsed. His hands were shaking. I have to. I'm coming with you. You don't have to. I'm coming. They dressed in silence, fast, efficient. The car ride was a blur. Nathan drove too fast, ran 2 red lights. Elena didn't comment. The hospital smelled like disinfectant and fear. Sarah was in the ER, curtain drawn, pale, 20 years old and looking younger. Nate, she said when she saw him, started crying. He went to her, held her hand. What happened? I was at home, studying. Then everything went dizzy. I couldn't breathe. A doctor appeared, young, tired. You're her brother? Yes, what's going on? The doctor glanced at Elena. And you are? His wife, Elena said automatically. The doctor nodded, checked the chart. Sarah's lupus has progressed. The kidney involvement is more severe than we initially thought. Nathan went still. How severe? Stage 4 kidney disease. She needs treatment immediately, dialysis to start, possibly transplant in the future. The experimental treatment we discussed won't work anymore. The disease has progressed past that point. The room felt airless. Sarah started crying harder. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't, Nathan said fiercely. This isn't your fault. The doctor continued. We can start dialysis this week, get her stabilized. But long-term, she'll need significant ongoing care. The costs, I'll cover it, Nathan said immediately. It's extensive. Dialysis 3 times weekly, medications, monitoring. We're looking at $40,000 monthly, minimum. Elena felt the number like a punch. Nathan's jaw tightened. I said, I'll cover it. But Elena knew the truth. Nathan's father controlled his money, and the agreement was experimental treatment only. This was beyond that scope. The doctor left. Sarah fell asleep, exhausted, medicated. Nathan sat beside her bed, head in his hands. Elena moved closer, put her hand on his shoulder. We'll figure it out, she said quietly. How? His voice was raw. My father won't pay for this. He agreed to the experimental treatment because it was a one-time cost. This is ongoing, indefinite. Can you access your own money? Not without his approval. And if I ask, he stopped. He'll use it as leverage, make demands. What kind of demands? Nathan looked up. His eyes were red. The kind that trapped me forever. Elena understood. More than 1 year. More than 10. They sat in silence. Machines beeped. Hospital sounds echoed. I'll figure something out, Nathan said. I have to. Elena thought about her trust fund. Limited. but real. How much do you need? She asked. Nathan looked at her sharply. Elena, how much? I can't take money from you. Why not? We're partners, friends. You help me look for gallery spaces. Let me help you. That was different. How? Because I wasn't asking you to risk everything. Elena pulled up her phone, checked her account balance, did the math. I can cover 6 months, she said. 40,000 monthly. That's 240,000 total. It'll drain my trust fund, but it'll give you time to figure out a longer-term solution. Nathan stared at her. You can't do that. I can, and I will. Why? The question was simple. The answer wasn't. Because Sarah needs help, and because you do the same for me. You don't know that. Yes, I do. Nathan's expression cracked. For a moment, he looked young, vulnerable. I can't let you. You're not letting me. I'm choosing. Elena squeezed his shoulder. Partners, remember? We help each other. This changes everything. I know. We can't divorce if you're financially invested in my family. The realization hit them both. This wasn't just friendship. This was entanglement. Real entanglement. One problem at a time, Elena said. First, we save Sarah. Then we figure out the rest. Nathan pulled her into a hug. Sudden, tight. Thank you, he whispered against her hair. Elena held him. This stranger who wasn't a stranger anymore. This husband who was supposed to be temporary. Nothing felt temporary now. Dawn came slowly through hospital windows. Elena sat in the waiting room chair. Uncomfortable. Vinyl. The kind designed to prevent sleeping. Nathan was down the hall, talking to doctors, signing papers. Sarah was stable, sleeping. They'd moved her to a room, started dialysis. Everything was happening fast. Elena's phone had 14 missed calls. Her mother, her father, text messages asking where she was. She'd texted back, with Nathan, family emergency, we'll call later. Her mother's response, what kind of emergency? Elena didn't answer. She looked at her bank account. The transfer was pending. $240,000. 6 months of treatment. Her safety net, gone. She should feel panic, regret, something. Instead, she felt calm. This was right. Helping Sarah was right, even if it complicated everything. A nurse walked by pushing a cart. The wheels squeaked. Hospital sounds, machines, voices. Everyone here waiting for something. Elena thought about her gallery. The corner unit, 2,000 square feet. Perfect. That dream would have to wait now. Maybe forever. The thought hurt less than she expected. Nathan appeared, sat down heavily beside her, exhausted. He'd been awake for 24 hours. She's stable, he said. They're keeping her for observation. 3 days minimum. That's good. Yes. They sat in silence. The waiting room was empty except for them. Early morning, that liminal time between night shift and day shift. I made the transfer, Elena said. It should clear by tomorrow. Nathan closed his eyes. I don't know how to thank you. You don't have to. I do. You gave up everything. Not everything, just money. And money isn't everything. Says someone who's never been without it. The comment stung because it was true. You're right, Elena said. I don't know what it's like to struggle. I've always had safety nets, trust funds, family money. She paused. But I do know what it's like to sacrifice something important for someone you care about. Nathan opened his eyes, looked at her. The gallery. Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't be. This matters more. Does it? You don't even know Sarah. I know you. The words hung between them. Nathan reached over, took her hand, threaded their fingers together. When this year ends, he said quietly, when we divorce, I'll pay you back, every cent. It might take time, but I will. I don't want you to pay me back. Elena, I mean it. That money, it was sitting in an account doing nothing. Now it's saving someone's life. That's worth more than a gallery. Nathan's grip tightened. You're remarkable. You know that? I'm really not. Yes, you are. They sat holding hands. The sun rose higher. Light filled the waiting room, golden, new. We should call our families, Nathan said. Explain. What do we tell them? The truth, that Sarah's sick, that we're handling it. They'll want details. They won't get them. Elena liked that, drawing boundaries, protecting this. Okay, she said. We'll call them together. Nathan squeezed her hand once, then stood. I need to check on Sarah first. She'll wake up soon. Should see a familiar face. I'll be here. He walked away, disappeared down the corridor. Elena sat alone in the waiting room. Her phone buzzed again, her mother calling. She let it go to voicemail. Instead, she pulled up the photo of the gallery space. The corner unit, 2,000 square feet. Someday, she thought, maybe not soon, maybe not for years, but someday. She saved the photo, closed her phone, leaned back in the uncomfortable chair, and waited. They went home at noon. Sarah was sleeping, stable. Her parents hadn't come. Nathan hadn't called them. They don't deserve to know, he'd said. The apartment felt cold, empty. Nathan went straight to the shower. Elena heard water running, heard him in there for 30 minutes. When he came out, his eyes were red. Did you cry? Elena asked. No, but his voice cracked. She made tea, something warm, comforting. They sat on the couch. The city outside was gray, overcast, rain threatening. I need to tell you something, Nathan said. Elena set down her tea. Okay. About why I really agreed to this marriage. He wasn't looking at her, staring at his hands. It wasn't just about Sarah's treatment. Her pulse kicked up. What do you mean? 2 years ago, I tried to leave. Quit CrossCorp. Told my father I was done. I'd saved money, had a plan, was going to teach at a business school, do something meaningful. He stopped, breathed. My father froze everything. Every account, every asset. He has that power. Legal authority over family trusts until I'm 35. I'm 31. 4 more years of his control. Elena felt cold. So you stayed. I stayed. And 6 months ago, Sarah got diagnosed. Needed treatment. Expensive treatment. I went to my father. Begged. He said no. Said she needed to learn responsibility for her health. That's cruel. That's him. Nathan's jaw tightened. So when he proposed this marriage, the merger, the arrangement, he offered a deal. Marry you, secure the business, and he'd pay for Sarah's treatment. Plus, he'd release partial control of my trust when I turned 32. Next year, give me access to my own money. The pieces clicked into place. So you said yes, Elena said slowly. I said yes, because it was the only way to save her and get free. Nathan looked at her finally. But that's not the whole truth. What's the rest? I knew the marriage was arranged. I knew you didn't have a choice, and I went into this planning to use you, marry you, get what I needed, then divorce. Clean. Simple. Elena's chest tightened. That was always the plan. Yes, but then... He stopped, started again. Then I met you, and you were smart and funny, and you understood what it meant to be trapped, and suddenly the plan felt wrong. Why are you telling me this now? Because you gave up everything to save Sarah. You drained your trust fund for someone you don't even know, and you deserve the truth. All of it. The room felt too small. Elena stood, walked to the window, pressed her palm against cold glass. Were you ever going to tell me? She asked. I don't know, maybe, eventually. But not now, not unless I'd forced your hand by helping Sarah. Yes. Honesty, raw and painful. What else aren't you telling me? Elena asked. Nathan was quiet. Then, when my father offered this deal, he gave me a choice. Marry you or watch Sarah die slowly. Those were his exact words. Watch her die slowly. Elena turned. He said that? Yes, and I hated him. But I said yes, because what else could I do? You could have found another way. There was no other way. I looked. For months, every option led back to him, his control, his power. Elena understood that. She'd lived that. So we're both trapped, she said, just in different cages. Yes. They stood in silence. The rain started. Light, tapping against windows. I should be angry, Elena said. You used me. You should be. You have every right. But I'm not, because I used you too. Nathan looked up sharply. What? My father's company isn't just struggling. It's 2 months from bankruptcy, complete collapse. He had a heart attack because the stress was killing him. And when this marriage was proposed, when the merger was offered, I saw an escape. Not just for him, for me. Elena, I could marry you, save the company, be the hero, and in 1 year, walk away with my trust fund intact and my father alive. Clean. Simple. She moved closer. We both used each other. We're both guilty. The confession hung between them. So what do we do now? Nathan asked quietly. I don't know. We can't divorce, not with Sarah's treatment ongoing, not with your father's company depending on the merger. I know. So we're stuck, really stuck. Elena sat back down, close to him, not touching, but close. Maybe, she said slowly, we stop thinking of it as being stuck. Maybe we think of it as choosing. Choosing what? Each other. Not because we have to, but because we want to. Nathan's expression shifted. That's dangerous. Everything about this is dangerous. We could get hurt. We're already hurt. He reached for her hand. She let him take it. Okay, Nathan said. Let's choose. Okay. They sat holding hands. The rain picked up. The city outside blurred. Nothing was simple anymore. But maybe that was okay. Sarah came the following week. Elena had never met her properly, just seen her in a hospital bed. Pale, sick. Now she sat on their couch, still pale, but awake, alert. You're Elena, Sarah said. Nate's told me about you. Good things, I hope. He said you saved my life. Elena sat in the chair across from her. Awkward. I just helped with treatment costs. That's saving my life. Nathan was in the kitchen, making tea, giving them space. Sarah looked young, 20 but seeming younger. Dark circles under her eyes, thin, fragile. Can I ask you something? Sarah said. Of course. Why did you help me? You don't know me. Honest question. Deserved honest answer. Your brother cares about you, Elena said. That's enough. Is it? You gave up a lot of money. Money comes back, lives don't. Sarah studied her. Nate said you wanted to open an art gallery. Was that what the money was for? Elena hadn't expected her to know that. Partially, so you gave up your dream for me. It's not gone, just postponed. That's a nice way of saying I ruined it. You didn't ruin anything. Sarah's eyes filled. I ruined everything. I got sick. Nate had to marry someone he doesn't love. Now you can't have your gallery. Everything's broken because of me. Elena moved to the couch, sat beside her. Listen to me. None of this is your fault. You didn't choose to get sick. Nathan didn't marry me because of you. He married me because your father is controlling. And I gave up the gallery money because I wanted to. My choice. But, no buts. You're 20. You have your whole life ahead of you. And now you get to live it. That's worth everything. Sarah cried. Elena held her. This stranger who was family now. Nathan appeared in the doorway, saw them. His expression softened. Later, after Sarah went to rest, Nathan found Elena in the kitchen. Thank you, he said, for what you said to her. I meant it. I know. That's what makes you remarkable. Elena leaned against the counter. She's talented, you know. While you were making tea, she told me about her design work. Fashion design. She showed me some sketches on her phone. They're incredible. She's been doing that since high school. Our father thinks it's a waste. Of course he does. Nathan moved closer. She asked if you could mentor her, help her build a portfolio. I told her that was too much to ask. Why? I'd love to. Elena, I'm serious. She's talented. She needs guidance. I can help with that. You're already doing too much. Or maybe I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. Nathan looked at her. Something in his eyes made her pulse jump. What? Elena asked. I keep waiting for you to realize this isn't worth it, that I'm not worth it, that you should leave. Where would I go? We're married, legally bound. You know what I mean. She did. He was waiting for her to pull away, create distance, protect herself. I'm not leaving, Elena said quietly. Why not? Because I don't want to. The words felt heavier than they should. Nathan stepped closer, close enough that she could feel the warmth of him. This is getting complicated. It was always complicated. More complicated. I know. They stood close, not touching, but the space between them felt charged. I should check on Sarah, Nathan said, but he didn't move. You should, Elena agreed, but she didn't step back. A moment, suspended. Then Nathan's phone rang. Work. The spell broke. He answered, walked away. Back to responsibility. Elena stayed in the kitchen. Her heart was beating too fast. This was dangerous, letting him get close, letting herself care. But it was too late. She already cared, more than she should, more than was safe. 2 weeks after Sarah came home, routine settled in. Mornings, Nathan left early for work. Elena helped Sarah with dialysis prep. They'd hired a nurse, but Sarah preferred Elena's company. Afternoons, Elena worked remotely for her father's company. Sarah sketched. They'd talk about design, about art, about life. Evenings, Nathan came home. They'd cook together. All three of them, like a family. Except they weren't a family. They were an arrangement that was becoming something else. Friday night, Sarah went to bed early, exhausted from treatment. Elena and Nathan cleaned the kitchen, moving around each other, practiced, comfortable. She's getting stronger, Elena said. Thanks to you. Thanks to medicine. Thanks to you funding medicine. Elena dried a plate, set it aside. I've been thinking. About? Sarah's design work. She needs professional training. There's a program at Parsons, 6 months, intensive. It starts in January. Nathan stopped washing. Elena, I already looked into it. The cost is manageable, and she could live here, commute to classes. It would be good for her. We can't afford that. I can. You've already given. I know what I've given, and I want to give more. Elena turned to face him. She's talented, Nathan. Really talented. She deserves a chance. So do you. You deserve your gallery. I'll get it eventually. Sarah needs this now. Nathan set down the sponge, moved closer. Why are you doing this? Because she's important to you. That makes her important to me. We're supposed to divorce in 10 months. The number felt wrong now. Too soon. Too final. Maybe we don't, Elena said. Nathan went still. What? Maybe we don't divorce. Maybe we stay married. Make this real. The words hung in the air, heavy, significant. Elena, hear me out. We're already living together, already taking care of Sarah together, already building a life. Why tear it apart in 10 months? Because that was the deal. The deal changed. Everything's changed. Nathan's expression was unreadable. Are you saying you want to stay married to me? Elena's heart pounded. I'm saying I don't want to walk away. Not yet. Maybe not ever. You don't mean that. Why not? Because we barely know each other. We know enough. We know we work well together. We know we care about the same things. We know we can build something real. Real, Nathan repeated. As opposed to the fake marriage we've been performing? Yes. What if you change your mind? What if in 6 months you realize you want out? What if I don't? Nathan ran his hands through his hair, frustrated, confused. This is insane. Maybe, but so is everything we've done so far. He looked at her, really looked. You deserve someone who chose you, not someone who was forced into it. You're choosing now, that's what matters. Am I? Or are we both just too deep to walk away? The question hit hard. Elena stepped closer. I don't know. Maybe we're both trapped. Maybe we're both choosing. Maybe it's both. That's not romantic. I don't need romantic. I need honest. Nathan's jaw tightened. Honestly, I don't know if I can give you what you deserve. I don't know if I can be the husband you need. What do you think I need? Someone whole. Someone who's not broken by their father. Someone who doesn't come with complications. Nathan, Elena said softly, I don't want someone perfect. I want someone real. Someone who understands what it's like to be trapped and still chooses to fight. That's you. He looked at her. His eyes were gray and uncertain, and something else. Something that looked like hope. If we do this, he said quietly, if we actually try, it changes everything. I know. We can't go back. I don't want to go back. Nathan reached for her, pulled her close, his hands on her waist. Warm. Steady. Okay, he said. Let's try. Okay. They stood close. Not kissing, not yet. But the space between them felt different. Full of possibility. Full of choice. We should probably tell our families, Elena said, that we're staying married? That we're actually married, really married. Nathan smiled. First real smile she'd seen. They'll be confused. Good. Let them be confused. He laughed. The sound surprised them both. Then he kissed her. Soft. Careful. Real. Everything changed. Elena woke to sunlight and Nathan's arm around her waist. They'd fallen asleep on the couch, still dressed. The kiss from last night had been careful. Tentative. They'd talked until 3 a.m. about what this meant, about trying. Then exhaustion had won. Now morning light cut through windows. The city hummed below. Nathan stirred, opened his eyes, saw her. Hi, he said, voice rough with sleep. Hi. They stayed like that, close, warm, neither pulling away. Did last night actually happen? Nathan asked. I think so. We decided to stay married. We decided to try. Same thing. Is it? Nathan's hand moved on her waist. Small circles, unconscious. I don't know, but I want to find out. Elena shifted to face him. His hair was messy. He had pillow lines on his cheek. He looked human, real. We should probably tell people, she said. That we're in love? The words stopped her. Are we? Nathan considered. I don't know what love feels like. I've never had it. But this, whatever this is, feels important. Important, Elena repeated. That's a careful word. I'm a careful person. Not last night. He smiled, small, private. No, not last night. They heard movement in the hallway, Sarah's door opening, footsteps toward the bathroom, reality returning. Nathan sat up. Elena did too. They were on the couch, fully dressed, morning after without the usual implications. Coffee? Nathan offered. Please. He went to the kitchen, started the machine. Elena watched him move, comfortable in his space. Their space now. Sarah appeared, saw them both, smiled knowingly. Good morning, she said. You two look cozy. We fell asleep talking, Elena said. Sure you did. Sarah poured orange juice. So are you going to tell me what's happening, or do I have to guess? Nathan glanced at Elena. She nodded. We decided to make this real, Nathan said. Actually try being married. Sarah's smile widened. Finally. Finally? Elena asked. I've been watching you two dance around each other for weeks. It was painful. We've only known each other a month, Nathan said. And you've been more married than most couples I know. You care about each other. You support each other. You live together. What else is there? Love, Elena said quietly. Sarah set down her juice. Love isn't a lightning bolt. It's a choice you make every day. You two have been choosing each other since the beginning. You just didn't realize it. The words settled over them. When did you get so wise? Nathan asked. Terminal illness gives you perspective. Sarah's tone was light, but her eyes were serious. Life's too short to waste time being scared. She left. Went to get dressed for physical therapy. Nathan handed Elena coffee. Their fingers touched. He didn't pull away. She's right, he said. We've been choosing each other. Without meaning to. Does intention matter if the result is the same? Elena sipped her coffee. Thought about that. I don't know, but I want to choose you intentionally now. Not because I have to, because I want to. Even though we're complicated? Especially because we're complicated. Nathan moved closer. Kissed her forehead, soft, gentle. We should tell our families, he said. That we're staying married? That we're happy. Let them think what they want. They'll ask questions. Let them ask. Elena leaned against him, felt his warmth, his solidity. Okay, we'll tell them together. Together, Nathan agreed. Outside, the city moved forward. People going to work, living lives, making choices. Elena and Nathan stood in the kitchen, coffee getting cold, choosing each other, intentionally. They scheduled Sunday dinner. Both families. Nathan's parents' house. The dining room was excessive, crystal, fine china, everything designed to impress. Elena's parents arrived first, her mother in pearls, her father in his best suit. Nathan's parents were already seated, his father at the head, commanding. 6 people, 1 table, too much tension. Thank you for coming, Nathan's father said, not warm, formal. Nathan said you had news. Nathan took Elena's hand under the table. She squeezed back. We wanted you all to know, Nathan said. Elena and I are very happy. The marriage is working well. Silence. Everyone processing. Elena's mother spoke first. That's wonderful, dear. We're so pleased. But her eyes were calculating, trying to understand what this meant. Nathan's father leaned back. Working well, what does that mean specifically? It means we're committed to each other, Elena said. We're building a life together. The contract specified 1 year, his father said. Are you saying you plan to extend that? We're saying, Nathan said carefully, that we're not thinking about the contract anymore. We're thinking about our marriage. His father's expression hardened. The contract is legally binding. The contract required us to live as a married couple. We're doing that. More than that. How much more? The question felt invasive, inappropriate. That's personal, Elena said firmly. Her own father cleared his throat. I think what everyone wants to know is whether the merger is secure, whether this partnership will continue. The merger is secure, Nathan said. We're not going anywhere. But you're not bound to the timeline, Nathan's father pressed. The timeline was 1 year minimum. We're exceeding that minimum, voluntarily. Something shifted in his father's expression. Not pleasure, suspicion. Why? He asked. Because we want to, Elena said simply. Her mother set down her wine glass. Elena, darling, can I speak with you? Privately? Not a question. They excused themselves, went to the powder room. Her mother closed the door. What are you doing? Staying married. Why? The deal was 1 year. Freedom after. You had plans. The gallery. Plans change. Don't be naive. You barely know him. This is infatuation, not love. Elena faced her mother. How would you know the difference? You've never asked if I was happy. You've only asked if I was useful. Her mother's face went pale. That's unfair. Is it? When have you ever asked what I wanted? When have you ever cared about anything other than the company? I've given you everything. You've given me expectations, obligations, a role to perform. That's not everything. That's a cage. And Nathan is different? Yes, because he sees me, really sees me. He supports my dreams, encourages my art, cares about what I want. Her mother was quiet. Then, does he love you? The question hung. I don't know, Elena admitted, but he's trying to. That's more than I've ever had. Her mother's expression cracked, just slightly. I tried. I want you to know that. When you were young, I tried to protect you, to give you options I never had. By pushing me toward business, by dismissing art, by giving you practical skills, by making sure you could survive. Her mother's voice broke. I was trapped by my choices. I didn't want that for you. But you trapped me anyway. I know. Her mother's eyes filled. I'm sorry. They stood in the powder room, two women, two generations, same cage. I'm staying married, Elena said quietly, not because of the company, not because of the contract, because I choose to. Her mother nodded slowly. Then I hope he deserves you. He's trying to. That's all any of us can do. They went back to dinner. The conversation shifted, surface, safe, but something had changed. Elena had drawn a line, chosen herself, chosen Nathan, chosen freedom within the marriage instead of freedom from it. Sarah's portfolio was spread across the dining table. Elena studied each sketch. Fashion designs, bold, innovative, raw talent refined through hard work. 3 months since Sarah started at Parsons, she was thriving. Her health had stabilized. Dialysis 3 times weekly, difficult but manageable. She'd gained weight, color in her cheeks, life returning. And her designs had evolved, more confident, more sophisticated. Elena picked up a sketch, evening gown, asymmetrical. The fabric would flow like water. What do you think? Sarah asked. She'd been watching nervously. I think you're ready. For what? To show these, really show them, not just to professors, to the industry. Sarah's eyes widened. I'm not ready for that. You are. These are professional quality. But I'm still learning. You'll always be learning, but you're good enough now to start building connections. Elena pulled out her phone, scrolled through contacts. I know someone. Gallery owner who does fashion exhibitions. She showcases emerging designers. I could introduce you. Elena, I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering. Sarah sat down, looked at her designs. Why are you doing all this for me? Because you're talented. Because you deserve opportunities. Because, Elena paused, because you're family now. The word felt natural, true. Sarah's eyes filled. I never had a sister before. Neither did I. They smiled, understood each other. Can I ask you something? Sarah said. Of course. Are you happy? With Nate? Really happy? Elena considered. Yes, I think I am. You think? I'm still learning what happy feels like. Without performance, without expectation, just genuine happiness. Sarah nodded slowly. He's different since you came. Lighter. He laughs more, sleeps better. Does he? Yeah, before he was always tense, always working, always trying to prove something to our father. Now he just exists comfortably. Elena hadn't noticed that shift, but hearing it made something warm bloom in her chest. He's good for you too, Sarah continued. You smile more. You've started sketching again. I see you sometimes, late at night, drawing in the living room when you think everyone's asleep. Elena felt exposed. You've seen that? I have insomnia, dialysis side effect. I see a lot. Sarah grinned. You're good, really good. I'm rusty. You're talented just like you tell me I am. They sat together, two women finding their way, supported by each other. "I'm glad Nate married you," Sarah said quietly. "Even if it started fake, I'm glad it became real." "Me too." Sarah gathered her sketches, organized them carefully. "Will you come with me? When I show these to your contact, I'm nervous." "Of course, we'll go together." "Thank you for everything, for the treatment money, for Parsons, for believing in me." "Sarah, I mean it. You saved my life. And not just medically. You gave me hope, purpose, a future." Elena's throat tightened. "You gave me something too." "What?" "A reason to stop performing, to be real. You and Nathan both." Sarah hugged her, tight, sisterly. When Nathan came home that evening, he found them cooking together, laughing, easy. He stopped in the doorway, watched. "What?" Elena asked, noticing him. "Nothing, just this. You two. It's good." "We're planning Sarah's future gallery exhibition," Elena said. "And Elena's going to sketch again," Sarah added. "Properly. I'm making her." Nathan smiled. "Good. She should." They cooked dinner, all three of them. Family, real family, not performed, chosen. The call came during breakfast. Elena's father, his voice shaking. "We have a problem. I need you at the office. Now." She arrived 30 minutes later. Nathan drove her, insisted on coming. Her father's office was chaos. Papers everywhere. Laptop open to spreadsheets. Red numbers. "What happened?" Elena asked. "The merger. It's failing." Her father looked 10 years older. "Cross Corp pulled their primary investment. They're restructuring. It affects our contracts." Nathan's expression went dark. "My father did this?" "Yesterday. No warning, just a letter from their legal team." "How much?" Elena asked. 40 million, due in 60 days or we default on everything." The number felt impossible. Nathan pulled out his phone, called his father. No answer. Called again. Voicemail. "He's not answering," Nathan said. "Of course not." Elena's father sat heavily. "This is leverage. He wants something." "What?" Elena asked. "I don't know, but he'll call." They always call when they want something. The phone rang. Not his father, Nathan's assistant. "Your father wants to see you. Today, 3 p.m., his office." Nathan hung up, looked at Elena. "I'll handle this." "We'll handle it," she corrected. "Elena, we're partners, remember?" They went together. Nathan's father's office was exactly what Elena expected. Dark wood, leather, power displayed through furniture. He sat behind his desk, didn't stand when they entered. "Nathan, Elena, sit." They remained standing. "Why did you pull the investment?" Nathan asked. No preamble, direct. "Business decision. CrossCorp is restructuring European operations. We need liquidity." "That's a lie. We have liquidity. I've seen the reports." His father's expression didn't change. "Perhaps you don't see the full picture." "Then show me the full picture." "I don't answer to you, not yet, not for 4 more years." The reminder, Nathan's trust, still controlled. "What do you want?" Elena asked, cutting through the game. Nathan's father finally looked at her, really looked. "Smart girl, fine, I'll tell you. I want confirmation that this marriage is legitimate. Not a performance, not a business arrangement, real." "It is real," Nathan said. "Prove it." "How?" "Give me a grandchild." The words landed like a bomb. Silence, heavy, suffocating. "You're insane," Nathan said. "I'm practical. If this marriage is real, you'll want children eventually. I'm simply moving up the timeline." "By holding a company hostage?" "By ensuring family legacy. You'll inherit CrossCorp someday. That inheritance requires an heir. Standard practice." "Standard practice is archaic and manipulative," Elena said. Her voice was ice. Nathan's father smiled. "Perhaps, but it's effective. You have 60 days. Give me proof of pregnancy and I'll restore the investment. Plus 40 million additional capital for Morgan Industries. Consider it a baby gift. And if we refuse? Nathan asked. Then Morgan Industries collapses. 400 people lose jobs. Your father-in-law's legacy dies. And you, he looked at Nathan, you lose any chance of accessing your trust early. We'll wait the full 4 years, maybe longer. You can't extend the trust, it's legally defined. Legal documents can be challenged, tied up in courts for decades. You'll be 50 before you see a dollar. Sarah will be, he paused deliberately. Well, who knows where Sarah will be? The threat was clear. Nathan's hands clenched into fists. Elena grabbed his arm, held him back. We'll discuss it, Elena said, privately. You have 60 days. I expect an answer by then. They left, didn't speak until they were in the car. I'm going to kill him, Nathan said, voice shaking with rage. You're not. He threatened Sarah. He threatened your father. He's holding everyone hostage. I know. So what do we do? Elena looked at him. This man she'd married for convenience, who'd become so much more. We think, she said. We plan. We find a way out. There is no way out. We have 60 days. That's not enough time to raise 40 million. Not enough time to restructure everything. Then we give him what he wants. Nathan stared at her. You can't mean that. I don't know what I mean, but we have 60 days to figure it out. They drove home in silence. The cage had closed tighter. They didn't talk about it for 3 days. Nathan buried himself in work, trying to find solutions, alternative investments, anything. Elena ran numbers, called contacts, explored options. Nothing worked. 40 million in 60 days. Impossible. Unless they gave his father what he wanted. Friday night, they sat in the living room. Sarah was at a study group. They were alone. We need to talk about it, Elena said. Nathan was staring at the city lights. I know. Do you want children? The question was simple. The answer wasn't. Someday, Nathan said. Maybe. I never thought about it seriously. My father's manipulation tainted the whole concept. But if his manipulation wasn't a factor, then yes, I think I'd want kids, with the right person, when the time was right. Am I the right person? Nathan turned to face her. I think you are, but the time isn't right. We've been married 4 months. Actually married, really trying, for less than 2. That's not enough. People have kids faster than that. People also get divorced. We're not going to get divorced. How do you know? Elena didn't have an answer. She couldn't predict the future. I don't want to bring a child into this situation, Nathan said. Not with my father controlling everything. Not with this pressure. Not like this. Neither do I. They sat in silence, the problem looming. There's another option, Elena said slowly. We could fake it. Fake pregnancy? Yes, give him ultrasound photos, doctor's notes. He can't actually verify. He'd verify. He'd demand to be present at appointments. He'd want proof. And when we couldn't deliver a baby in 9 months, we'd deal with that later. By faking a miscarriage? That's grotesque. He was right, but they were running out of options. Then what? Elena asked. We let your father win? Let the company collapse? Let everyone lose their jobs? I don't know. Nathan stood, paced, ran his hands through his hair. I've been thinking about this for 3 days, he said, constantly, every angle, every option, and I keep coming back to the same thing. What? We call his bluff. Elena sat forward. How? We tell him no, refuse his terms, let him pull the investment, then we file for legal emancipation from the trust. You said that could take decades. It could, or it could be fast, depends on the judge. If we present evidence of his manipulation, threatening Sarah, blackmailing us, we might win. Might. It's better than definitely losing ourselves by giving in, Elena considered. If we fight him legally, we burn that bridge forever. No reconciliation, no relationship. I don't want a relationship with him. I never have. But Sarah might. She's still young. She might want. Sarah hates him more than I do. She'd support this. And my father? His company? Nathan sat back down, took her hands. I have savings. Not much. He controls most of it, but I have some. About 5 million in an account he doesn't know about. It's not 40 million, but it's enough to keep Morgan Industries operating for a few months while we find other investors. You'd give that to my father? I'd give it to you to protect what you care about. Elena's chest tightened. Nathan, I know it's not enough. I know it doesn't solve everything, but it buys time, and time is what we need to fight him properly. You'd sacrifice your savings, your safety net. For you, yes. The words hung in the air, simple, true. I don't want you to do that, Elena said softly. Why not? Because it's too much. Because you've already given up so much. Because... She stopped, breathed. Because I love you, and I don't want you to lose everything for me. Silence. Nathan's expression shifted. You love me? Elena hadn't meant to say it, not like this, not in the middle of crisis, but it was true. Yes, she said. I love you. I don't know when it happened, maybe gradually, maybe all at once, but I do. I love you. Nathan pulled her close, kissed her, deep, certain. I love you too, he whispered against her lips. I've been trying not to, trying to protect myself, but I do. They held each other. The admission made everything more complicated, and somehow simpler. So what do we do? Elena asked. We fight, together. We tell him no. We protect each other. We build something he can't control. Even if we lose everything, we won't lose everything. We have each other. That's romantic but not practical. Nathan smiled. Since when are we practical? Good point. They spent the night planning, strategy, legal options, alternative investors. It wouldn't be easy, but they'd face it together. Not because they had to, because they chose to. They scheduled the meeting for Monday. Nathan's father's office, 3 p.m. Elena wore armor, black suit, hair pulled back, professional. Nathan wore resolve. They'd practiced what to say, how to stand firm. Sarah insisted on coming. He threatened me. I get a voice. They arrived together, united front. Nathan's father wasn't alone. 2 lawyers, his CFO, a power play. This seems excessive for a family conversation, Nathan said. This is business, his father replied. Sit. They remained standing. We have your answer, Nathan said. It's no. His father's expression didn't change. Explain. We're not having a child on your timeline. We're not performing pregnancy for your approval. We're done with your manipulation. I see. And Morgan Industries? We'll handle that separately, without your investment. With what capital? You don't have 40 million. We'll find it. His father smiled, predatory. You won't. I've already contacted every major investor in your sector, made it clear that Morgan Industries is a bad risk. No one will touch them. Elena felt cold. You can't do that. I just did. Spent the weekend making calls. You're radioactive. Both companies. Intertwined failure. That's illegal, Sarah said. Market manipulation. Prove it. My conversations were casual, advisory, perfectly legal. He leaned back. You have no options. Accept my terms or watch everything collapse. Nathan's jaw tightened. Then we collapse. We'll rebuild. With what? Your trust is locked. Your savings are minimal. Elena's trust fund is depleted. You have nothing. We have each other, Elena said. His father laughed. Actually laughed. How sweet. Love conquers all, except bankruptcy, except legal fees, except reality. Reality is that you're a bitter man who controls people because you're terrified of being alone, Nathan said, voice steady, cold. You drove away your wife, alienated your children, destroyed every relationship you've ever had. And now you're trying to force a grandchild into existence because it's the only legacy you'll have. The room went silent. His father's expression went dark. Careful, son. I'm not your son. Not anymore. Not in any way that matters. Legal documents say otherwise. Legal documents can be challenged. I'm filing for emancipation from the trust. Full legal separation from CrossCorp. I'm done. You'll lose. The trust is ironclad. Maybe, but I'll fight. Publicly. I'll tell everyone what you did, how you threatened Sarah, how you manipulated this marriage, how you blackmailed us. The press will love it. His father's composure cracked. You wouldn't. Watch me. One of the lawyers leaned forward, whispered something. His father's expression shifted. Calculation. You fight me, you lose everything, he said. Your inheritance, your position, your name. I don't want any of it. Keep it. Build your empire alone. Nathan turned to leave. Elena and Sarah followed. You'll regret this, his father called. Nathan stopped, turned back. The only thing I regret is not doing this sooner. They left. In the elevator, Sarah started crying. Relief, fear, everything. Did we just commit financial suicide? Elena asked. Probably, Nathan said, but I've never felt freer. They went home, sat in the living room, processing. What happens now? Sarah asked. Now we figure out survival, Nathan said. I'll sell my car, downsize the apartment, cut every expense. I can work, Elena said, full-time, for my father. We'll keep the company afloat somehow. I'll defer Parsons, Sarah offered. Get a job, help contribute. No, Nathan said firmly. You're staying in school. We'll figure out everything else, but you're not giving up your education. But, no, this isn't your burden. Sarah nodded, wiped her eyes. Elena's phone rang. Unknown number, she answered. Hello? Elena Morgan Cross? A woman's voice, professional. Yes. This is Patricia Townsend. I'm an investor. I heard you might need capital. Elena's pulse jumped. How did you hear that? Doesn't matter. I'm interested. 40 million. Standard terms. Can we meet tomorrow? Yes, absolutely. Where? They scheduled it. Elena hung up, stared at her phone. What? Nathan asked. An investor, out of nowhere. She wants to meet tomorrow. That's too convenient. I know, but what choice do we have? We verify her. Research. Be careful. Agreed. That night, Elena researched Patricia Townsend. Real person, real money, clean reputation. It seemed legitimate. Too legitimate. Something feels wrong, Nathan said, looking over her shoulder. Like what? Like my father's too smart to not have a backup plan. You think he sent her? I think we need to be very careful. They went to bed uncertain, hopeful but wary. Tomorrow would bring answers, or more complications. Either way, they'd face it together. Patricia Townsend's office was understated. Elegant, but not excessive. She was 50, silver hair, sharp eyes. She shook their hands firmly. Thank you for meeting, Elena said. Of course, please, sit. They sat, waited. Patricia poured tea, unhurried. I heard about your situation. CrossCorp pulling investment. Your father's ultimatum. How did you hear that? Nathan asked. I have connections. The business world is small. She sipped tea. I'm prepared to offer 40 million. 20% equity in Morgan Industries. Standard investment terms. That's generous, Elena said carefully. Why? Because I believe in the company, and because... Patricia paused. I have personal reasons. What kind of personal reasons? Patricia set down her tea. 28 years ago, I was in a similar position. Arranged marriage, family pressure, a man I barely knew. Elena's breath caught. The marriage was supposed to be temporary, 1 year, then freedom. Patricia's voice was soft, remembering. But something unexpected happened. I fell in love. He fell in love. We decided to stay. What happened? Nathan asked. His father disapproved, not because we weren't in love, but because I wasn't the right kind of wife. I was ambitious, independent. I wanted to work. Patricia smiled sadly. He threatened us, said if we stayed together, he'd cut off all funding, destroy my husband's career. We'd lose everything. What did you do? We fought. Legally, publicly. It took 3 years. We lost the family money, the inheritance, everything. Patricia looked at them. But we had each other. We built something new, something ours. And 30 years later, we're still here, still together, still happy. Silence. Why are you telling us this? Elena asked. Patricia reached into her desk, pulled out a photo, slid it across. A young couple. The man looked familiar. Same eyes, same jaw. Is that? Elena couldn't finish. My husband, Nathan's uncle, James Cross. Nathan went pale. Uncle James died when I was 15. He did. Cancer. 5 years ago. Patricia's eyes filled. He always talked about you, worried you'd end up trapped like he almost was. I never knew he'd been arranged to marry someone. Your father erased that history, pretended James had always been independent. But James remembered, and he made me promise something before he died. What? If you ever needed help, if your father ever tried to control you the way he tried to control James, I would step in, help you, give you the chance we had. Elena's throat tightened. So this isn't just investment. No, this is family, the kind you choose, not the kind forced on you. Patricia pulled out documents. 40 million, 20% equity, but there's a condition. What condition? Nathan asked warily. You use some of it to fight your father, legally, completely. I have lawyers, resources. We challenge the trust. We prove manipulation. We get you free. That could take years. It could, or it could take months. Depends how well we argue. Patricia smiled. And I'm very good at arguing. Nathan looked at Elena. She looked back, saw hope. Why now? Nathan asked. Why wait until we were desperate? Because desperate is when people make real decisions, not convenient ones. I needed to know you'd chosen each other truly, not because it was easy, but because it was right. Patricia stood, extended her hand. So, do we have a deal? Nathan and Elena exchanged glances, a whole conversation in a look. Yes, Nathan said, we have a deal. They shook hands, signed papers, started the process. Walking out, Elena felt lighter, like possibility had returned. Your uncle, she said. James, what was he like? Kind, funny. He used to sneak me books about sailing, tell me stories about traveling. My father hated him for it. Said he was filling my head with nonsense. He sounds wonderful. He was. I didn't know he'd fought this same battle. I wish I'd known. Maybe he wanted to protect you, shield you from it. Maybe. But now, Nathan squeezed her hand. Now we have a chance. A real chance. They drove home. The city looked different, brighter. Freedom wasn't given. It was fought for. And they were ready to fight. Elena couldn't sleep. 3 a.m. The apartment was dark, silent. Nathan slept beside her, steady breathing. She slipped out of bed, went to the living room, turned on one small lamp. Her sketchbook was on the table, the new one. She'd started drawing again 2 weeks ago. She opened it, flipped through pages, charcoal studies, quick sketches, hands, windows, city lights, and portraits. Nathan reading, Nathan cooking, Nathan talking to Sarah, Nathan sleeping. She'd been drawing him without realizing it, capturing moments, building a visual diary. On the last page, she'd started something different, a self-portrait, her face, unfinished. She'd stopped because she didn't know what expression to draw. Who was she now? The woman who'd performed for 28 years? Or someone new? Elena picked up the charcoal, started drawing, careful lines, shadows, shapes emerging. The woman in the drawing looked tired, but peaceful, like someone who'd stopped running. "Can't sleep?" Nathan's voice, soft. She hadn't heard him approach. "Sorry, did I wake you?" No, bed felt empty. He sat beside her, looked at the sketchbook. "These are beautiful. They're just practice. They're more than that." He touched the edge of a portrait, his own face staring back. "You see me differently than I see myself." "How do you see yourself?" "Broken, damaged by my father, still figuring out how to be whole." "That's not what I see." "What do you see?" Elena looked at the drawing. Strength, kindness, someone who protected his sister, who chose love over obligation, who's brave enough to fight. Nathan was quiet then. "Draw that. Draw how you see me, so I can see it too." "I already did. This whole sketchbook." He flipped through pages, stopped on one. Him standing at the window, morning light, coffee in hand, unguarded. "I look peaceful here," he said. "You were. It was Sunday. Sarah was still asleep. You were just standing there, existing." "I don't remember that moment. That's why I drew it, to capture it before it disappeared." Nathan set the sketchbook down, turned to her. "You're remarkable. You know that?" "You keep saying that." "Because it keeps being true." He kissed her, soft, gentle, familiar now. "Come back to bed," he whispered. "In a minute, I want to finish this." "Finish what?" She showed him the self-portrait. "I couldn't figure out my expression, but I think I know now." "What is it?" "Happy, uncertain, but happy." "Can you be both?" "I think so. I'm happy with you, with us, but uncertain about everything else. The legal battle, the money, the future." "That's fair." Elena picked up the charcoal, started adding shading. The woman in the drawing took shape. Her face, her expression, happy, uncertain, real. "There," she said. "Done." Nathan looked at it. "Perfect." They sat in the dark living room. 3 a.m., city lights casting shadows. "I love you," Elena said. "I know I've said it before, but I want to keep saying it until it feels normal." "It won't feel normal. It'll feel extraordinary, because it is." He pulled her close. They sat together, her sketchbook between them, a record of their life. Chosen, real, imperfect, everything they'd both been looking for. The gallery opening was packed. Emerging voices, Sarah Cross, fashion design. Her name on the wall, professional, real. Elena stood at the back, watching Sarah talk to journalists, collectors, people who mattered. She was radiant, healthy. The dialysis had worked. She was on a transplant list, but stable, living. Nathan appeared beside Elena, handed her champagne. "She's incredible," he said. "She is. So are you. This was your idea, your connections, your belief in her. She did the work. You gave her the chance." They watched together, proud. The legal battle had taken 9 months. Patricia's lawyers were good, really good. They'd proven manipulation, coercion, threats. The judge ruled in Nathan's favor. The trust was released. Nathan was free. Cross Corp continued without him. His father hadn't attended the court proceedings, hadn't reached out since. Nathan didn't miss him. Morgan Industries survived. With Patricia's investment and new contracts, they'd stabilized. Elena's father was healthy, relieved, grateful. Her mother had apologized, actually apologized, said she was proud, meant it. Small steps, but progress. The gallery, Elena's gallery, opened 2 months ago. Corner unit, 2,000 square feet, Perfect. Local artists, emerging voices. Elena curated, sold, built community. It was everything she dreamed. And Nathan taught, part-time, business strategy for startups. The students loved him. He loved the work. They downsized the apartment, something smaller, more them, less performance. Sarah lived with them still, but she was looking at her own place, growing, independent. Life was different, smaller, but richer. Elena's phone buzzed, her mother. Beautiful event, proud of you both. Small steps. Nathan squeezed her hand. Want to get out of here? Let Sarah have her moment? Where would we go? I have an idea. They slipped out, drove to the marina, the same marina where Nathan used to sail. He'd bought a small boat 2 months ago. Nothing fancy, but his. They sat on the deck, night air, water lapping, stars overhead. Happy anniversary, Nathan said. It's not our anniversary, that's next month. No, 1 year since we decided to stop performing. To actually be married, that was tonight, 1 year ago. Elena remembered. The kiss in the kitchen, the decision to try. 1 year, she repeated, feels like longer. In a good way? In the best way. They sat in comfortable silence. The boat rocked gently. I have something for you, Nathan said, pulled out a small box. Elena's breath caught. Nathan, it's not what you think. Open it. Inside was a key, silver, simple. What is this? A studio. I rented space in the Arts District. 2 rooms, natural light. It's yours. For painting, for creating. No more late-night living room sessions. You have real space now. Elena's eyes filled. Nathan, you gave me freedom. Let me give you this. She kissed him, tasted salt, tears, joy. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for choosing me, for staying, for building this life. I'd choose you again, every time. Even knowing how hard it would be, especially knowing that. Easy isn't worth it. This is. They stayed on the boat until dawn, talking, planning, dreaming. The future stretched ahead, uncertain, complicated, but theirs. Not arranged, not performed, not obligated, chosen. Elena thought about the contract, the one they'd signed 18 months ago. 1 year of marriage, then freedom. They'd gotten freedom, just not the kind they'd expected. Not freedom from each other, freedom to be themselves with each other. And that was everything. The sun rose, golden light on water. Nathan started the engine. Ready? For what? For wherever we're going, together. Elena smiled. Always. They sailed into morning, the city behind them, the horizon ahead, choosing each other, every day, forever.